Welcome to Cato Weekly Video with Anastasia Uglova. In the episode for this week, we have Anthony Romero, Executive Director of the American Civil Liberties Union. At a recent Cato Book Forum, Anthony discussed his new book, In Defense of Our America, The Fight for Civil Liberties in the Age of Terror. Without further ado, an excerpt from Anthony's remarks.
I just want to say this book and this process we're working with Dina has been remarkable because we started out with a common vision of how we wanted to talk about these issues. We wanted to make these issues come alive for the American people. That often when we talk about these issues in our reports, whether it's a Cato report or an ACLU report, they end up feeling like mere abstractions. They talk about the intricacies or the niceties of the law. You end up talking about a lot of acronyms, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA, or NSA, the National Security Agency, or you talk about the Patriot Act. And often most Americans fail to realize that those issues, or habeas, these Latin terms that most people have heard of but don't really understand the implications in their everyday lives. And so we wanted to tell a series of stories that would make those abstract principles come alive. That in fact that most of us take for granted what are the core protections that define us as a great and proud democracy. And that so much of what you've seen in the aftermath of 9/11 has been an erosion and a curtailment of those basic rights. The right to habeas corpus, the right to contest your unlawful detention, which was repealed for a group of detainees in the aftermath of the Military Commissions Act when the conservative Supreme Court rendered a rebuke to the Bush administration in a series of 3 Supreme Court cases. That, for me, is probably one of the low points in the aftermath of 9/11. The idea that the president believes that he is above the law and can completely bypass legislation enacted by Congress through the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, bypass Congress and bypass all the federal judiciary in authorizing secret surveillance on American citizens on American soil. The concern, for instance, that we've recently have had to file suit against a private corporation, Jeppesen Corporation, for its complicity in running airline flights that would render individuals to countries where we know they will be tortured as part of the interrogation processes. And we don't believe that American corporations ought to make money off of a torture program. All of those, if you had asked me on the first week on the job, would those issues come to play? Could that ever happen in America? I would say to you that's impossible. The idea that the government would hold an American citizen on American soil, not charge him with a crime, and deny him access to a lawyer for more than 2 years, I thought would have been unthinkable in our democracy. And yet we've seen that play out exactly the way it's played out over the last several years.
Thank you for watching Cato Weekly Video. The Cato Institute is a non-profit organization. For more information or to find out how to give to Cato, please visit www.cato.org.